Today I am here with the Orangewood Hugo baritone. As you saw in the introduction, I've got a lot of pictures of this. It's a beautiful looking guitar. The sound you were hearing in that introduction was through the built-in pickup system, and it's got a built-in tuning system and EQ system on board. No fancy editing to that. That's just how it sounded. And then here you heard me strum it a little bit through a condenser mic that I'm also speaking through. So this is the fourth Orangewood guitar that I have purchased, but I will be returning this one shortly. In the end, I've always loved baritones. I never quite know what to do with one, especially an acoustic, but I always like playing with them. They're a fun sound, and when they're done properly, they can have this big, open, beautiful sound, especially when you strum chords. And on this one, I am using a heavier pick. I'll find a lighter one and do a couple things with that to see if that makes a difference. But in general, I would say this guitar is about the build quality and tone you would expect. For me personally, I had a Brooklyn from Orangewood and found that was much better than the price point suggested. This one is right about where the price point would suggest, and I think it was about $500. And in the past, I've tried, I think, an Alvarez baritone that was maybe $300 or $350, at least back when I tried it, it was. And it just sounded cheap. It sounded flat, it sounded tinny, and truthfully, this one sounds about the same. I think that it gets the low end pretty well. Good articulation there. You can feel the bass of it in the room anyway. But when you get to that part, I don't know. It doesn't sound like even a $500 guitar. Now maybe I'm too spoiled from playing too many expensive guitars, but that's just to my ear. It does not sound like the money that I'm putting into it. It sounds like a $150 or $200 guitar that happens to be a baritone. Now I understand baritone is kind of a specialty thing, so you do pay a little bit more for it sometimes. But to me, this price for this tone, I just, listening to it plugged in, I wouldn't feel great about gigging with that sound anywhere, which means I'd be putting a different pickup in the sound hole, and I'd be EQing it myself just to try to get it to sound like a guitar. I think the pickup sounds really nasally, which I think of all undersaddle pickups that way. I've complained about that in the past, and I, way back in one of my early Orangewood reviews, said I would love it if you put a 1/4-inch strap peg jack in there so that it was easy to add a pickup. Instead, they started adding their own pickups. Still don't have a 1/4-inch jack there. They added it here, which is adding an extra hole in the guitar. I'm generally not a fan of that. You got a couple extras up here. Not a great thing. It's not a super expensive guitar, so I understand that. But were I to put my own pickup in, I would be expanding the strap peg hole, which is just, it's too much work for a $400 or $500 guitar. Even a $600 or $700 guitar, I wouldn't be bothered with that. So I'll play it just a little bit more. Maybe you are hearing something that I'm not hearing. Maybe you really like it. Or maybe I just don't know how to play it. The other thing I will say about it is generally I've had great tuning stability from Orangewood. In this case, I cannot get through a song, a recording, or a video without this falling out of tune, especially this low string. By the way, I have it tuned B to B. I know some people do A to A, or they come up with an open tuning. I think those are all perfectly valid uses of a baritone. I keep it B to B. That's how I keep my baritone electric. And yeah, I'll just let you hear a little bit more of it. here's a little bit of strumming with a medium gauged pick. And I had been using a 1.0. So here's a celluloid medium.